If you want to understand geopolitics, here's a very quick crash course. The entire world is watching China because they've become the second largest economy in a very short period of time, and they are pushing all their neighbors around to get a bit more of a sphere of influence. They are the largest importer of food and oil in the world. Those are their weaknesses. China is the world's largest creditors. They are one of the largest investors in Africa, and they are using those investments to gather precious resources that the West is having trouble getting their hands on. India is the fifth largest economy in the world. They have the largest population, and they are becoming a big rival to China. They are trying to be friendly to China while kicking the crap out of their soldiers whenever they come to the Indian border. Saudi Arabia is one of the world's largest oil producers. They have one of the largest oil reserves in the world, and they control the entire block of OPEC, which produces about 40% of the world's oil. So a lot of Saudi Arabian decisions have a huge impact on the world's energy economy and overall economy. Russia is an idiot country with a bunch of resources and a bunch of nukes. They've had centuries to exploit whatever they possibly could to make their economy strong, and they have failed miserably, and all they seem to really know how to do is make the world a more difficult place to live. And most of the world has lost respect for Russia, not only because they invaded Ukraine a year ago, but they haven't been able to win since then. Most of the world has directly condemned Russia with the exception of the BRICS nations, but China, India, and Brazil have called them the aggressor. Ukraine is being helped tremendously by NATO, but it still makes the Russian military a laughingstock of the world. Africa is pretty much the last frontier of the world's exploitation of people and resources. They are growing in population, they're growing in education, and eventually they're going to be able to throw off a lot of the Western and Eastern oppression that keeps plaguing them. Europe, at least the western part of it, is just a decaying museum of wealth and power. They're a shadow of what they once were because all they really know how to do is exploit resources. Aside from maybe Germany, they still are one of the best manufacturers in the world. There is a lot of promise in Eastern Europe, like Poland, all these other countries, but they are hampered by being so close to a war-torn area of Russia and Ukraine. Brazil is the largest economy in South Africa. They have a lot of resources and a huge labor supply at their disposal, and they are gaining a lot of influence despite America's efforts to try to still be the one on top of all of South American policy. And then you have the big bad bull moose himself, the United States of America. They have the largest and most powerful economy in the world and the largest and most powerful military. The American dollar is the world's reserve currency. Over 83% of world trade is conducted in dollars. That is actually how the US maintains a lot of dominance over the world's entire economic policy. And as a counter to American power and influence, China, India, Russia, Brazil, and South Africa got together to form the BRICS alliance. China, India, and Russia have each created their own individual international payment system to fight SWIFT, which is what the US and most of the world uses. Let me know what you guys think.